second part of this video clip. I'll split everything in 10 minutes. Video clips will be easier for me. Once again, I just apologize for my English. English is not my first language, so I may have a little bit of, but I hope that you'll get the message, because that's what's important. So, on November 11, another event happened. Archbishop Britain Archbishop was saying, "Ministers' Christmas cards erode Christianity." It was an article signed by Glenn Owen and was posted, as I said, on November 11, 2006. Dr. John Sentamu sends out a rallying call. Britain's first black archbishop has attacked government ministers for sending non-Christian Christmas cards for fear of offending other religions. Archbishop of York, Dr. John Sentamu, said the liberal atheists were aiding the systematic erosion of Christianity in public life. He hit at policies such as saying Winterval for Christmas and changing Happy Christmas to season greetings on government cards. Ugandan-born Dr. Sentamu, 56, who became Archbishop last year, told an audience of lay readers in Newcastle upon Tyne that Christians should be more politically active to combat a rising tide of aggressive secularism and ensure that their principles were not purged from society. Christianity is being, and I quote, "Christianity is being systematically eroded from public view, more often than not in fear of offending those who will not be offended in the least, or because of the mistaken belief that Christianity has no role to play in the public arena." I end quote. So that's what he said. And I quote again, "The systematic erosion is subtle, with minor changes which drip by drip erode centuries of Christian heritage and identity. Examples can be seen all over officialdom. The change in official government cards from Happy Christmas to season greetings, the change to the asking for a first name instead of Christian name, the slow chipping away at the foundational heritage that gave birth to those values we all share." Dr. Sentamu, who came to Britain 22 years ago, after fleeing dictator Idi Amin, cited Birmingham Council decision 8 years ago to rename Christmas Winterval. Torbury remove of a cross from its crematorium, the Royal Mail Christmas stamps which do not feature Jesus, and Plymouth's move to end free parking on Sunday in case it offends people who worship on other days. And I quote again, "The people of Plymouth corporately need to make a robust but peaceful response," said Dr. Sentamu. Long-standing traditions cannot be swept aside by a stroke of a pen. Dr. Sentamu has called for a rediscovery of English pride, warning that a zeal for multiculturalism sometimes seems to imply let other cultures be allowed to express themselves, but do not let the majority culture at all tell up its glories. A Downing Street spokeswoman said, "The Prime Minister always sends out cards with Christmas greetings. The only exception is the card is being sent for a senior figure from another religious faith." She added that the policy across Winterval was a matter for individual government departments. And in response to that, on November 11, probably in response to that, because you see everything is tied together, Sir Elton John has something, I will say, shaming to say. So I quote him now. Elton John was saying, this article was posted on November 11, 2006. "I will ban religion completely." That's what Elton John is saying. And I read the whole article for you now. Sir Elton John wants religion banned completely because he believes it promotes hatred of gays. Speaking to the Observer Music Monthly magazine, the singer said religion lacked compassion and turned people into hateful lemmings. A press association reports in a candid interview for a dedicated gay issue of the magazine, he shared his view on topics as varied as being a pop icon to Tony Blair's stance on the war on Iraq. He said there was a lack of religious leadership, particularly in world politics, and complained that people do not take to the streets to protest anymore. Sir Elton said, "I think religion has always tried to turn hatred towards gay people. Religion promotes the hatred and spite against gays." And he continues, "But there are so many people I know who are gay and love their religion. From my point of view, I would ban religion completely." And he continued, "Organized religion doesn't seem to work. It turns people into really hateful lemmings, and it's not really compassionate." And he continues, "The world is near escalating to World War III, and where are the leaders of each religion? Why aren't they having a conclave? Why aren't they been coming together?" As a parenthesis, right now, this guy now seems to organize all the religion, after he hates them, he wants to organize them. It's a nonsense, but he can explain that to you if he can. And I continue to cite here, to quote from him, "I said this after 9/11 and people thought I was nuts. Instead of more violence, why isn't there a meeting of religious leaders? It's like the peace movement in the 60s. Musicians got through to people by getting out there and doing peace concerts, but we don't seem to do them anymore. If John Lennon were alive today, he'd be leading it with a vengeance," he said. Sir Elton said people were too busy blogging on the internet to go out onto the streets to stand up for what they believed in. And I quote again from him, "They seem to do their protesting online, and that's not good enough. You have to get out there and be seen to be vocal, and you've got to do it in time and time again." There was a big march in London when Britain decided to join the war against Iraq, and Tony Blair is on the record saying, "The people who march today will have blood on their hands. Let's return to buy him on the if I can say the word," he said. Sir Elton compared his place in British culture with that of the Queen Mothers. That's tough, I can say. My opinion. He said, "People come to me and I'm a bit like the Queen Mother. I never get those problems. I don't know what it is with me. People treat me very reverently." Referring to his wedding to long-term partner David Furnish, he said, "It was the same when Dave and I had our civil union. I was expecting the odd floor bomb, and there wasn't. Dave and I, as a couple, seems to be the acceptable face of gayness, and that's great." He pledged to continue to campaign for gay rights, saying, "I'm going to fight for them whether I do it silently behind the scenes or so vocally that I get locked up. I can just sit back. It's not in my nature anymore. I'm nearly 60 years old after all. I can't sit back and blindly ignore it, and I won't." Those are the words of Sir Elton John. And what to say about that? Those are his points of view. The only thing that I can say here, and I was saying in this article, it's, "Oh, God help the Queen." That's my note and our note to him and to everybody who thinks like him. We'll continue with the third part of this video clip soon.